Spring cleaning isn't just for your desk and closets. It's the perfect time to put your website under the microscope to see what might be weighing it down and costing you new visitors. Hi, it's Jim, and welcome to Better Radio Websites, the podcast that wants to help you get more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and it is officially spring, and it's the season of renewal, and there's no better reason to take a look at your radio station website to see if it could possibly benefit from a little bit of spring cleaning. Just as you tidy up your office, your home, your yard, it's the perfect time to refresh old posts and to see if any of them still have value, and if they don't, prune the content that is no longer relevant. And all of this is going to help keep your website performing its best, both for your listeners that keep coming back every single day, for new listeners that you want to attract, and for search engines. So first, let's talk about refreshing old content. Why do this? Well, search engines favor freshness. Google's algorithm specifically values new and regularly updated content. If you have evergreen posts that stay on your website for a long period of time, like interviews, community interest stories, that sort of thing, they're still relevant, but they could use a modern twist. A refresh can give them new life and help them to find a whole new audience and bringing that audience to your website. Simply adding a few lines or changing the publish date, that's not going to cut it. Try to enhance the substance of each piece of content with new information that reflects current trends. Maybe a location has changed. Maybe something about that has changed, something that you can go in there and make it more interesting. What you're doing is you're refreshing this content rather than adding a new piece of content that is the same as something that's old that you still have on your website. So you don't want to do that. I'm a victim of that, so I will tell you that that's not something that you want to do. Because what it does is then you have two posts on your website that are fighting for like the same keyword or phrase, and what it does is the search engines actually look at both of those and say, okay, well, you have too many posts on here that are fighting for the same one. I just won't rank any of them. All right, so you want to look at refreshing your old content rather than adding new content that is the same as old content. Now, you're going to want to do this because, again, it's going to attract more return traffic. Refreshing this old content encourages existing readers to revisit your site while appealing to new visitors that are searching for updated information. A renewed focus on your site helps ensure that you're delivering timely, relevant posts that resonate with your audience always. It's going to strengthen your station's brand too, because up-to-date articles show your listeners and potential advertisers that your station remains cutting edge. It's relevant, it's active in the community, and you're active on your website. This all perceived credibility can translate into higher engagement, more listener loyalty, and of course, an overall better user experience. So let's identify which content to refresh. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to do a content audit. We've talked about this in previous podcasts. You're going to pull analytics for older posts and pages. You're going to find those hidden gems that they still may be old, but they still draw traffic to your website and rank well for specific keywords. And what I mean by keywords is that things that people are searching for, like advertising opportunities in your area. All right, so once you've identified some of these keywords and posts, then consider how you can give them new life. They might be 5 or 6 years old, and really you shouldn't have anything on your website that is 5 or 6 years old. But what I'm using that as an example is pick something like that and give it new life with a new publish date, like as of today. That way it looks like brand new content to search engines and to your visitors that are coming there to your website. And if it's brand new, it's probably at the top of your website and as being the most up-to-date thing. And so that's why it's going to be giving it a whole new life. You also want to enhance seasonal and evergreen content. Ever run an article like summer concerts not to miss in our city, or how to stream your station on any device? We'll revisit those topics, ensuring that all the information, all of those links still match and everything is just working perfectly. Perhaps a venue has changed their name or location in an old event posts that you've did a news story on. So let's talk about tips for refreshing older posts. One, you're going to rewrite the headlines and introductions. You're going to add current trends and keywords that resonate with today's listeners. Something might have been, could be a whole lot different from your audience from a year ago or 2 years ago. If you have any fresh data, personal stories, or even on-air highlights, include those as well. Weave them into those opening lines so it automatically looks like it's something that is brand new. You may want to embed updated audio or video, like new clips from recent shows or interviews. For example, if you did an event recap last year, embed a 30-second on-air highlight or video snippet to bring it to life. Perhaps you're going to put a video or piece of audio that is promoting the event this year. And then optimize for SEO. Review meta descriptions, tags, and internal links. If you refer to any other post on your site, update those anchor text and to reflect the best practices and redirect listeners to relevant new articles. And that's going to, that link building is actually going to help your SEO whenever you can link around to other pieces of content, whether either it be on your site or externally. So let's talk about spring cleaning 101 in pruning your underperforming content. While refreshing worthy articles and pages is great, not everyone deserves a second chance. I mean, some older posts, like old news posts, obsolete events, DJ blog posts from years past, might clutter up your website and hinder your SEO efforts. More content is not better for your website, all right? It is ensuring that the content that you do have on your website is relevant and it's up to date. Now, some things that you can do to spring clean and prune this underperforming content is it's going to boost your site's overall quality. By removing stale and irrelevant posts, you improve the average quality of your content overall. And this can raise your credibility in the eyes of audiences and in search engines that can boost your site-wide SEO scores through the roof. It's going to provide a better user experience. Yeah, visitors are going to get frustrated sifting through all these pages and posts for if they got to scroll past outdated event details and broken links. It's just a bad user experience. A good sweep of all that clutter helps them find what they need a whole lot faster. And it's going to improve your SEO efficiency. Search engines like Google rewards websites that maintain high value content, and removing or merging low performing pages puts a spotlight on the posts that truly serve your station and community. And it's going to boost the SEO, not only for that content, but your site overall when it finds more of those pages. Now, I was this person too, and it was kind of something that was, I guess it was like an underlying rule early on. And when you started doing websites, is that more content equals better. You just want to have more. If you have a bigger box on the internet, then you have a better website. And for those of you who have this mindset still and unwilling to part with that old content, the key takeaway from this entire episode is that more content is not better. I had one of my clients, he was upset when he discovered that he could not export years of old content from his previous website provider over to us. It was a hard time convincing him that it was actually a blessing that he couldn't do that, because we'd basically be starting over with only a few weeks or about a month of content. And his new site, his SEO scores went through the roof because all of the content on his new website was recent and it was relevant. And he didn't have any of that other garbage to weigh his website down. He was thoroughly surprised, and they started developing a plan to start pruning all of those older posts over time. Are you looking for engaging local content to help keep your radio station website fresh and compelling? Introducing Content Lab from Skyrocket Radio. Our dedicated team of content creators handles the heavy lifting, writing hyperlocal articles that resonate with your community and keeping visitors coming back for more. Imagine having consistent professional content without distracting your on-air talent or sales staff from their core jobs. With Content Lab, you get fresh local stories, features, and community updates tailored specifically to your market. That means better SEO, more web traffic, and new advertising opportunities, all built around your station's unique vibe. So, if you're ready to elevate your online presence and showcase local happenings that matter, let us take care of that content. This way, you can focus on what you do best, delivering great radio. Visit skyrocketradio.com/content lab to learn more and to start boosting your station's digital impact today. So how do you decide which posts to prune? Well, you got to track the traffic and engagement. Posts with 0 or minimal views, they're prime candidates. Get them gone. You might want to consolidate more of some of this content into more relevant and an updated piece of content to see if that works better. Check for outdated information. If a post references sponsors that are no longer affiliated with your station, or maybe they went out of business or something like that, see if it's worth updating. If it's not, just by taking that information out and replacing it with something else, then you fall back into the refreshing category. But if it's truly useless, just hit the delete button on it. Nobody is going to miss it. Look for duplicate or overlapping topics throughout your website. If you have, now I'm talking about basically pages here. Like if you did an advertising blog where you are specifically targeting advertisers, and you wanted to give good information about why it's great to advertise on the radio and how to make a perfect 30-second spot, and then how to condense that into maybe a 15-second spot, all these different topics. And eventually you're going to run out of topics, like I do here when we're talking about radio station websites specifically. What you want to do is to look to see if you have any kind of overlapping topics, and then combine them, and then delete the old content, and then focus on the new. You're kind of merging that. What it's going to do is going to give your content more weight, and it's going to clean up your archive too. I just went through, before I did this, and did spring cleaning on skyrocketradio.com, and I took out years worth of content. I had actually skipped last year, and so I had more to get rid of this year. But looking back at all of those posts that I have removed, I now have a content calendar that I already have in place for the next couple of months on our blog side. So I'm going to be refreshing that information over time. So the content that I'm pruning is not going away; it's just being repurposed. And sometimes you can do that, and sometimes it's not. So some best practices for pruning content. If you remove a page, like I did, with any inbound links from external sites or even internal sites, set up a 301 redirect for a newer related page. And what I mean is, let's say, just use for an example, your contact page. Let's say we're going to delete the contact page, and our new page is Contact Us. The URL is totally different. So, but you may have that contact link in your business cards and on your website and on your social media and everything like that. And so what you'd want to do is you'd set up a redirect. So when somebody went to your site/contact, it automatically redirected to your site/contact us. Now, I know we can just change the contact us, but I'm using this just as a reference. And what this does is it preserves some of your SEO value for this content that you're redirecting, and it keeps your users from hitting a dead end. Those missing pages, those 404 error pages that you've seen, they can actually damage a website's SEO. So we try to track those and remove them whenever possible. You want to also document your changes. Keep a simple spreadsheet noting what was updated or removed. This is going to help track your progress and measure the impact of your site performance over time. You'll be able to see, okay, well, a lot of folks were hitting this, I'm getting a 404 error on this certain page. We probably shouldn't have removed it. So let's now bring it back in a new post and then set up a redirect for that old link to forward to this new one. And then you're going to want to do all of this regularly. While spring is an excellent motivator for spring cleaning, consider scheduling content audits at least semi-annually. It's a lot easier. It's a bigger, less chunk to handle at one time, because if you have a big website, this entire process is going to take a while. It could take days, actually, because you're going to be checking the analytics. You're going to be seeing what works and what didn't, and what Should we repurpose and that sort of thing? So if you do it on a more consistent basis throughout the year, these chunks are going to be a whole lot smaller and easier to handle. A pro tip though, if you import national and music news RSS feeds, this is not information that you want to save for any long period of time. I recommend that you set them up on a schedule to automatically delete themselves over time, like say 6 months, maybe even a year, depending on the feeds. I wouldn't have any RSS feeds if I imported national or music news onto my website. I wouldn't keep it any longer than 6 months. Rest assured, nobody's going to be searching for that national news headline story that they found on your website that was on there 6 months ago. It's just not going to happen. They're going to Google search somewhere, and wherever that piece of content was got the most traction from, may it be a national news source or something like, maybe even the service that you're importing it from, that's where they're going to land. They're not going to land on your website. Not trying to be critical or anything like that. It's just a matter of fact. Just the simple fact that you're importing that content from another source, it's likely that search engines are not even indexing it as being on your website. Again, more content does not equal better content. That additional content that you just want to keep on your website forever and ever and ever, it's just bogging your website down, and your more current news is not receiving the SEO benefits that it should, because search engines are having to weigh through all of that other stuff that they may deem some of the same keywords as your new stuff. All right. So after completing your spring cleaning, refresh your old articles, you've pruned out obsolete posts, and you've reorganized your website all to get the best SEO that you can. Don't forget to re-promote some of this newly polished content that you have. Share it out on social media, highlight it in your station newsletter, mention it on air. All of this is going to drive traffic and showcase that you're constantly updating and improving your station's online presence. Spring cleaning, it's not just for your home and your office. It's a powerful strategy that your radio station website can use to be fresh, relevant, and engaging by systematically refreshing valuable old posts and pruning outdated content. You're going to provide a much better user experience. Of course, you're going to strengthen your SEO. It's going to blow your mind how it's going to strengthen your SEO, and it's going to maintain a more professional image that resonates better with listeners, advertisers, and your local community. So give your digital platform the same attention that you'd give your station's on-air offerings. A vibrant, well-maintained website tells the world that your radio station is thriving year-round and continues to thrive. Ready to take your next step? Get in touch with us. Reach out to us at skyrocketradio.com. We'd love to be the partner that helps you elevate your station's online presence. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.